Welcome back to another episode of Last One y Nos Vamos.
Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode, mi gente.
My name is Margarita. You can find me on TikTok and on Instagram at your favorite Margarita.
And my name is Lenchito Lorencito, and you can find me at Last One y Nos Vamos of Ruthless Clothing on TikTok and Instagram as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for that wonderful introduction of yourself. So I was watching the Plática and Dioro was one of their guests, and he brought up something that I had mentioned to you before. But let me start off with this. Would you consider yourself that you have an accent?
Yes.
Like a California accent?
Yeah.
What is it?
Even Texans have accents too, right?
Yeah. See, for me, for the longest, I didn't think I had an accent.
Or you say something differently from other states.
Yeah. So like certain things mean things differently. But in California, there is like this trend that was going around TikTok that I had seen a while ago. And I guess some Californians, we do not pronounce the T in some words. Not all of the words, but just some of them. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you a word and I want to see how you pronounce it. Okay? Ready?
Sure, mountain.
Wait. Yes, that was the first word. Okay, so you already said mountain.
I just guessed.
Okay, so when I was I'll let you do the next one.
Because we live so close to them too.
Yes. Okay, what about this one?
Santa Monica.
You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so for whoever's watching, I guess we don't pronounce the T in some of the words. So like mountain, and I say mountain. So I don't even say mountain. I say mountain.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Santa Monica. I don't say
Correcto.
Santa Monica. It should be Santa Monica, not Santa Monica. The next one is where you went to school. So Sacramento. I don't say Sacramento. Sacramento. But it should be, but it's Sacramento, but I say Sacramento.
Same thing with Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. I think we already said that one.
No, I mean Santa Barbara. Sorry.
Santa Barbara. See, you said it right now. And then the last one, there's a lot more, but these are just some of the ones that I was like, which ones do we not say the T completely? And Santa Ana. The Santa Ana winds, which are right around the corner.
No, not literally the corner. They're like right here. But
but we don't get it that bad. Yeah.
But it does make sense just because our 3-second stop, our California stop.
The California
so
stop?
Lazy.
The 3 second, not even the 3 second. It's supposed to be 3 seconds, right?
I know, that's
like
what I'm saying.
Like the 6% rule? Yeah, we just like, I've been a little bit more mindful about it.
Because you're getting older.
Yes, I'm being a little bit more responsible. Oh yeah, and then also I catch myself. I haven't heard you talk like that, but like the whole Valley girl accent. No,
hell
and like this, don't you think? See, I can't see right now that I said that. I was like, you don't think so?
Yeah, I think I've seen.
It's always like that high pitch, like. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure like my accents probably change, or probably our accents change.
Depending where you go.
Depending who you're talking to. And because we speak Spanish.
Porque se pega.
Yeah, se pega. And the funny thing is that another funny thing, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but whenever we're talking, if I'm talking in English, I sound a certain way. But then once I start speaking Spanish, se te sale tu acento en español. Y también depende who you're talking to. Have you ever noticed?
Yeah, it's how comfortable you are with a person.
Yeah. So I feel like there's different levels, don't you think? Well, I mean, I don't know about you when you're at work. For me at work, I feel like I speak a certain way. You have to speak a little bit more professional.
Oh, sorry, I'm not professional.
No, you're not.
No, that's how you made it seem.
No, I'm not saying that you're not professional. But like, I don't know if you do, because I haven't seen you at work, but I'm telling you that at work, I'm a little bit more.
You've seen me at work.
I guess I have.
You just don't recall.
Yeah, I don't. It's been a while. When you used to work at the shop.
Yeah, and even AutoZone, you walked in there before.
Yeah. No, but do you feel like, do you speak professionally when you're at work? Oh, well, you don't really get to interact with customers. You do?
Well, we call our engineers basically our customers.
Quote
unquote.
Okay. I don't know. I just think it's interesting how when you're speaking in English, and then you transition to Spanish or whatever other language you're familiar with or that you know, your tone changes, your accent changes, and then also changes depending like who you're with and like you said how comfortable you are with someone. Because I can think of even some friends. I'm like, why? Like if I talk to my sisters, I talk to them a certain way. If I talk to friends, it's different. But yeah. That was my little ramble for the day. I had been wanting to talk about it, but I just kept forgetting about it. But then Dioro, shout out to Dioro for bringing it up again. But yeah.
I get it. I guess it does make a lot of sense, even though, a couple of years when I went to Texas, I didn't really capture that. But, one thing is for sure the way you dress, but the other, I guess, same way, your accent. And they probably figured out, oh, you guys are not from here.
So many things were happening last week and the weekend. ¿Qué no pasó? Like so many things were happening. But before I get into that, I just wanted to, let that simmer a little bit. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. So I don't know if you heard in the news about 2 weeks ago, U.S. Marshals or some sort of tactical team, they found 200 missing kids. Did you hear about that?
No.
No? So this was about 2 weeks ago. And see, that's what I'm surprised with. And the reason why I said, so many things that are happening that happened this past weekend that they're just going viral and it's just going off. But, all of these kids that were found, 200 kids that were found, and it didn't even go viral.
What was this at?
It was pretty much, it was in different states. It was nationwide. So it was here in the United States, and there was in different states where they were able to locate some of those kids. So some of them, from the top of my head, from what I can remember, they found some missing kids in Arizona, Michigan, different places. I think even some even here in California. And pretty much the list of the missing kids, they were pretty much just victims of course, of human trafficking, sex trafficking, even runaways, or even like within the family. Like family taking maybe like a minor and taking them with him. And the only thing that I can think about that is like, let's say whenever there's like a dispute between a mom and dad, and maybe the mom takes them without any proper documentation or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
Yeah, we had an Amber Alert last week.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
That's so weird. I never got one.
I think it was a Sentra.
That's weird.
Well, it was up on the freeways, on the boards.
No, that's crazy. No, but I'm glad that they were able to, like, imagine. But see, that's why I'm wondering, like, how often does this stuff happen that we don't know about, that doesn't go viral? Because, I don't know why it doesn't go viral.
Well, I guess it reminds us again about the movie. The one that was supposedly like trying to be banned in theaters. Can't remember the actual name.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Did you watch it with me, or did I watch it by myself?
You watched it by yourself. I never got to watch it.
Yeah, dang. So yeah, basically reminds us how things can just be thrown under the rug without even noticing at a time that this is happening. Even like, as you mentioned, you don't remember getting the Amber Alert on your phone, and usually that does happen. But this time it was just mostly on the traffic signs. The freeway. Signs.
Yeah, and remember, see, this is where like a lot of the money, I mean, now I know we're not I don't know, well, whatever. And I feel like this is where, I don't know, and you can elaborate on this, but I feel like this is where the money should, be invested properly. So remember a couple episodes ago, I talked about the digital license plate, that one of the advantages was if there's an Amber Alert, and if that car that was involved in, possible abduction, or if the car was stolen, it would alert it. So it's pretty much a tablet, and it would alert, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I feel like it should be invested a little bit more. So maybe putting more money so that almost, I guess, all of the cars, like making it an expectation for everybody to have that license plate.
Yeah, but the problem is it's going to come out of your money. Your own personal. The government is not gonna do that for you. And we can be realistic. A lot of people don't even pay for their tax right now. So what makes you think they're gonna go with the digital?
So right now that we were talking about these missing kids and, thankfully they were able to find them, I wanted to talk about this case. And disclaimer, just a quick disclaimer, it's going to be it might be a little bit graphic and too much for some people. So in 1994, there was a 27-year-old woman or girl called Alison Botha or Botha, Botha. And she was on her way somewhere, and somehow, two individuals ended up abducting her, and they ended up taking her to an isolated area where they pretty much essayed her. And they also ended up, they pretty much left her pretty much for to be deceased, I guess you can say. They ended up cutting her neck. And, of course, she lost consciousness. Some time passed by, and she ended up regaining consciousness. So she mentioned that when she was telling her story, she mentioned that as when she got up, she had to hold her head in place so that it wouldn't, move out of place. Mm-hmm. Because, mind you, they ended up cutting her neck. So eventually she ends up finding someone who was able to help her. When Alison went to go seek help, she ended up running into Tion A. Lorada. She was her rescuer. Alison eventually ended up healing. The two guys ended up going to prison. But here's the crazy thing. So her rescuer ended up becoming a gynecologist and delivered Alison's baby. Isn't that crazy?
The heck?
Yeah.
Years later.
Years later, because she was small. Long, yeah, probably not a lot, because she was 27 years old, and probably time passed and she was able to deliver her baby. Mm. But the crazy thing is that these two guys ended up spending 28 years in jail, and in July 4th of 2023 they were released. Alison and a lot of people were trying to support her and writing letters to the court just to hope and to plead and to beg them to let them stay in jail. Mm-hmm. But they ended up releasing them. So right now I guess they're free. But imagine like there's been so many cases where they get released for even murdering someone, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
The system came out because new laws came out and people started voting for them. Mm-hmm. So what is one of them? Probably if you've been good in jail for a long period of time, you can then get parole or apply for a new sentence or something like that. Mm-hmm. So again, it's not really the system, it's the people that did it as well. Obviously there was some people that might have not created a crime, mm-hmm. and this helped them to get released, mm-hmm. but unfortunately it's getting to the wrong people as well. The people that actually made a wrong crime, and the laws that we used to have back in the day, they don't play a part of it no more because of these updated laws.
Mm-hmm. No, and then the crazy and another thing just to add to that is that 28 years in prison, you're going to have time to look at the laws, get familiar with the laws, and kind of try to como se dice, find certain loopholes. That's the word that I'm looking for. Looking for loopholes and some things that will benefit you. Because man, 28 years, of course you're going to have time.
Right.
But yeah, no, that sucks that they were released. And by the way, she does have a book. It's called I Have Life. And if you look at her pictures or her recent pictures, you can tell that she still has the scars from the
cut.
From when they cut her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that, but probably what saved her life was, it was very dull. The knife. So it didn't probably get to the main arteries or anything like that. So that's probably the main reason why she was able to survive.
Yeah. But man, it's just the trauma having it's for the guys to be dismissed, all that trauma that she has to go through again. It's she was healing for all of these years. I don't know if she did. I that's why I want to read the book. She was probably healing through all these years, and then next thing you know, bam, it's she's going to be reliving the thing all over again. And also living in fear. I feel like I would.
Well, I think at that point, and this is what I was going to ask you, would you be that person that maybe move out of the state? Let's say it happened in your hometown. Would you move out because this history behind your home state?
If I had
wherever it happened.
If I had the ability to, I feel like I would want to. Mm-hmm. I really would want to, because I would just be scared for my life. And even if you do move out, if the people want to still come after you, then they're gonna find you.
Right.
If they're that nuts, they're gonna find a way to find you. Yeah. But yeah, no, I would want to. How about you? Would you stay or?
If it was more of a risk of my family, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, same. I would just be scared. And to top it off, I'm already really paranoid. So yeah, I would want to leave. Now, moving on to the present time, talking about the stuff that went viral this past weekend. Which one do you want to talk about? Which one has been your favorite?
Honestly, they're not my favorite.
Of course, they're not your favorite, but it's just like, which one has caught your attention the most?
I just want to hear your part of it, because I know you're very interested onto it. But for me, it's like old news already. It's already been out there. I've already seen it enough. But yes, I'll still give my opinion about it. But, it's nothing that's really like intriguing for me.
It's just, I don't know. I guess it's just because if something just goes viral, it's going to catch your attention. So I guess I'll start because there's like 3 or 4 of them.
That's what I want to say. I didn't go into it because I already knew people were like, oh my God.
All over it. Okay, so then I guess you could just elaborate and then just give your opinion on it. The first one that I want to start off with is the viral quinceañera dance.
Okay.
Have you heard about it? Have you seen it?
Yes, I've somewhat heard of it. Yes.
Someone heard of it? Okay.
Yes. Again, I didn't go into it for the same reason.
There's this quinceañera surprise dance that's going really viral, and it has, there's of course there's a reason why it's going viral, and it's because it was pretty much just an inappropriate dance for someone who is pretty much underage. Okay, and when I saw the video, I was like, oh, like, what is it? Because they're the way that they're dressed. It's just like, they're wearing cute outfits, whatever. But then the more I kept watching, I was like, oh, what I say?
Getting worse.
Yes, it just kept getting worse. The more you kept watching. So I don't know, because I just saw clips. I don't know what order it was. So the first one was the girls were pretty much dancing to Anita. So there was a song. There was, they pretty much got down to the floor, face down, butt up, and they were pretty much just
basically
shaking
the same performance that Anita does probably in the video, I think.
Oh, I don't know. I've never watched her video. And
because
then,
I think they're calling it Anita Challenge.
The Anita Challenge? Okay. Well, regardless, that's inappropriate, number 1. Number 2, they were doing another dance where the boys, the chambelanes, were sitting on the chairs, and the girls were pretty much just, dancing very seductively. And, it was just like, where were your parents? Where are the parents? And, it was just inappropriate. I especially in front of a family. Maybe when you're in your friends and you're in the middle school dance. Because I remember when I was in my middle school dance, I would dance like that. Okay.
There you go. So in reality, the only reason why it's being looked bad is because there was young kids and there was a lot of adults and nobody stopped it.
That thing, and the thing is, like, it's a family function, I don't think, every family's different, right?
Pero todos nos enojábamos when they stopped us at the dance.
Okay, that's a dance. That's not in front of your family. It's not the same thing.
Yes, because you're putting it out there as the children are doing inappropriate things. Yes, they are, but we were those people as well.
Yes. Okay. Let me explain myself. Yes, when I was in middle school, I wanted to dance like that. Sometimes I would want to dance to the music that, because from what I was trying to imitate what I saw in the music videos.
And that's what they did.
But the thing is here is that now you're in front of your family. It's just not, there's a time and place for things. Maybe, I don't know. That's the best way that I can say it. Like, you're in front of your family.
It was a surprise dance.
It's a surprise dance. And yes, people were very surprised. But I think it's something that's very inappropriate to be doing in front of, your whole family. And the fact that, nobody even stopped it or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. I'm waiting to see if the parents get interviewed or, the girl gets interviewed. Supposedly the girl came out and started talking about it, but I don't think it was the same girl. So what was I going to say?
I think at the end of the day, for me, I think they knew the purpose of it, and they knew it was going to go viral.
That was going to go viral.
I kind of feel that.
Possibly. And I'm seeing like a lot of people, and yes, you can ask yourself, where were the parents? How can the parents, how could the parents could have had to prove this? But here's the thing. When I was in a quinceañera, have you ever been in a quinceañera before?
Yes.
You have. Okay. So would your mom just drop you off, or what was the whole process?
Yeah.
They would just drop you off, so your parents wouldn't stick around. None of the parents would stick around, even when I was in the quinceañera and we would do the practice. So none of my family, like my family went to the quinceañera that I was part of. And that was the first time that they ever saw the dance that we did. It was no surprise. It was just the waltz. So I get it. Maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, the queen of the benefit of the doubt, that maybe the parents did not know, what the surprise dance was going to be all about. Okay. And here's another thing. So there's that part. Do you think really maybe the parents didn't know? Did your mom know what the dance was going to be like, or did she ever get to see it?
Not that I remember. No, I don't really recall.
No.
I don't know if we did a surprise dance. Can't remember that. But
okay.
Again, it's just they wanted to go viral.
Whatever it was. But here's a number two. Here's a number two. Another part of it. The choreographers. Okay. I don't know how old the choreographers, most likely they're over age, they're adults already. Why are they making it okay? Why are they like, okay, why are you guys making it okay for, these little young girls, teenagers, underage girls doing this dance?
I see that. I get that, guys, but I'm being a two-faced if I say no, I didn't want to be that person and dance that, and I didn't dance that. It's like, I understand I will have respect for my family and I try to do that in front of them, but then I'm playing myself saying like, oh no, I wouldn't try to dance that way. Get me? So that's why for me, I'm like an iffy situation, like yes, no. But again, like, yes, I have enough respect not to do that to my family.
So you dance. Okay. Now, let's say that.
So that's what I'm saying. So even though maybe the parents were involved or parents weren't involved, the people that did the dance, these youngsters, should have known better to do it or not. So maybe they don't have respect at all for their parents.
I don't know. Maybe all of them. Who knows? Okay. So then what if your daughter was the quinceañera? Would you have stopped it, or would you have just let it be? But you didn't know, right? Because you're just dad. You're just probably paying for the choreographer, and the quinceañera day, the day of the quinceañera comes, you know absolutely nothing about it. What do?
I don't know. That's a tough situation. Just because, again, one thing is like if you see somebody going down to the floor like that, you know what kind of dance is going to be already almost. And second, like, it's like, oh, am I going to ruin the quinceañera for my daughter? But then again, I feel like our parents or, on our side will ask about, oh, let me look at the surprise dance. You get me? I don't think our parents on our generation would not ask to see it.
No, that's the thing. Like, they probably weren't even involved. Even if it's at your house, like mom or dad, they can probably just be doing their own thing because they're like, pues it's a dance. Like, it's really no big deal to them. So I'm like, who knows? That's why I said, I'm like, I'm just curious to see if the parents are going to come out and do an interview or speak out on it, because I'm like curious to like see what is going on.
I honestly don't think maybe one parent might care and the other one won't care.
I don't know. That was interesting. I was like, ugh.
So what will you do if your daughter did that?
I'm stopping it right away.
Okay.
I definitely am. It's because like there's different ways that you can, pues ya lo hicieron, right? But there's other ways that you can still make it clean and make it age appropriate. Make the dance age appropriate. Yeah, así que si estás en la escuela, no parents are around, that you want to do your own thing, pues you can't stop them, right? You have no control over whatever it is that they do in school. While they're already doing it. So, I guess that's just my take on it. I'm like, that's totally wrong in so many different ways, that people who were involved or people that could have had been involved. All right. And for the last one, y nos vamos topic, Lenchito. But what a sad thing about that game. How people became animals just so that they can see a bunch of guys kicking a ball around. I know some people are like super diehard fans, super passionate about soccer. And, it probably just goes even deeper for like their culture and they're representing their culture. But do you really have to literally become animals, freaking stampede, trying to get into the game, risking your life, risking other people's lives?
Unfortunately, there's people like that. There sure is. I don't know if you heard it. There's Brazil stadiums, and I think even Africa, it happened when the World Cup went there. It was just a mess. So again, it's a business. And unfortunately, again, that's what I was mentioning to you. It's a world sport. So everyone's very passionate. Somebody's passionate and your family is passionate about that sport. Some people will actually do that. For example, yes, it was here in the United States. So, I'm saying Colombia is very close to the United States. So now that people have grown or have maybe a little bit of resource, they're able to travel over here and make it to there. So one of the reasons se le hace más fácil.
But the thing is, like, it's not passion if you're destroying property, if you're putting other people in danger. Like, there was so many videos where people were like going into the events. There was like a barricade and people were like, there was kids in between and people were like, I think it's just, maybe I'm just getting too worked up over it, but
a todos nos gusta el desmadre, but we just don't see the desmadre until something happens.
I don't think we're desmadrosos.
Okay, but let's say you want to go to Pico Rivera, es desmadre, right? You're like into it. Same thing with the soccer. People are into it, so that's how they're going to act. Not saying that's the correct way to act, but it does happen.
But the way that you can act is like by cheering and doing your cheers and, being with friends.
But I'm saying desmadrosos. There's people that are desmadrosos. So some people around you are going to act this way. So it's not surprising for me.
That's just
But even
disgusting.
we've been to games as well, and there's desmadre there. And you already know the environment you're going into. You should be knowing what to expect. So, I mean, I don't think it's a surprise. Now, it could be any other sport. It doesn't matter if it's just the whole, FIFA or soccer. Unfortunately, yes, maybe they should be implementing more of a structure how to make these events better. I'm just going to give an example, like, the whole Super Bowl. The one thing that I know they did there, and we even experienced this in Mexico, what they did there before the gate, they put a mile parameter out. And again, they will ask you for the ticket. If you didn't have a ticket, you weren't able to go in that mile parameter to the doors of the stadium. So that's a good one. And it wasn't here that they did that. I don't think so. And we did that in Chivas too. When we went to go to Chivas, they had a border and they wouldn't let you go past that unless you show them the ticket.
But that's the thing. Like, I guess that's the first time that I remember, from what I can remember, that it was just out of control because people, yes, they had their barricades, they had the gate and stuff, but the people se estaban metiendo a huevo, and like they weren't even the security and everybody who was probably responsible of scanning the tickets, pues les valió madre because they're like, damn, people are just trampling. They're gonna end up trampling me here.
Exactly. So it was more of a risk.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw Mondo and Lily Bay.
I haven't seen that. I have to see the vlog.
So for them, they obviously, yes, you're right. They let them go in for safety purposes because people were getting, run through. So what they did, they let them in. Yes, it probably wasn't the safest way, but then when they were people were trying to go to their seats, they would ask them for the ticket. And they wouldn't let you pass unless you had the ticket.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And I saw that people were getting escorted out of the stadium because they didn't have their ticket.
Right. So, again, maybe it wasn't just the way that it was structured wasn't the correct way.
Yeah, no.
But I've seen it in different sports. I've seen it in basketball. We've seen it in LA. People start, destroying property outside because they won a championship. Unfortunately, we just recently got one for the Super Bowl on the Chiefs rally when they win the championship. There was a gun, involved in a shooting there. So it happens. It's just now we saw it here. I don't know if it hurts more because it was Latino Copa America or more closer to us. But even the previous game before that, it was Ecuador and in Colombia, and the Ecuadorian players had to fight some fans because they were messing with their family in the stands.
I saw that.
And by then, they had the Ecuadorian player had made an announcement, by a microphone because he was being interviewed, so he was able to speak out his mind. He was like, guys, you guys need to fix this better because this is like a shithole. So they didn't do anything, even that somebody had told them before.
And I know, okay, so after saying that, and I know what I don't want to say I know, because I don't want to, say it was something that you probably won't even say. But the thing is that, like, all of that chaos that was going on, like, it's not only putting the crowd, the spectators in danger, it's putting the players in danger, their families in danger. So they should have just stopped it.
They try to delay it for an hour.
No, not delay, but completely just cancel that thing. Like, is it really worth, people getting hurt and dying?
Lost money. You're not that person that's there trying to go in there and play top dollar for a seat. There's other people that pay money for it.
Yeah, well, people are going to maybe they're just going to have to refund them and lose that money. Of course, that's what I'm saying. I knew that was going to be your answer because it's all about money. They don't want to lose the money if they just completely cancel it. But the thing is that, like...
No, I'm not saying the people. They were going to do it no matter what. But the people that stayed out and had that ticket and were going to get in, like, they were going to lose their money. Was that going to be fair for the actual customer?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, everyone.
So
pretty much
like
everyone.
FIFA.
So I'm not talking about, like, okay, so just literally just canceling it. So everyone and anyone who paid for a ticket, like, give you a refund. Just give them a refund, cancel the damn thing, because you're putting so many people in danger, and all just what, for money? Pues sí, siempre va a ser así. Like, money's always going to be, like, on top. But it's just like, it's just so ridiculous that they just didn't cancel it.
That's what I'm saying. You know what you might go into. So let's say, for example, some people, I know somebody that doesn't want to go to a live game because they know the chaos. They'd rather sit out their living room and watch the game. So they'd rather just do that. So that's what I'm saying. You kind of have to have that in mind, that you're going to probably have this chaos when you go there.
Yeah. No, that's true. You do have to have that mindset that it might happen because I remember when I went to my first Chivas game, like, people were throwing beer around, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, is this what a soccer game is? Like, is this what people come to play to soccer games? Y esa es la gente que la riega for everybody else. They're ruining an experience and causing people anxiety to not be able to go out and experience something that they would like to enjoy, but because people are just acting out and probably not even there to watch the game. Nomás quieren ir ahí, como tú dijiste, a hacer desmadre and
be
just
part of the ambiente.
They need some help. They seriously need some help if you're going to be doing that type of stuff. Like, I saw a video where they were literally just damaging, probably, like, the escalator was all damaged, and then they got like the food, like the, what is it? The concession stands. They were taking all the food. Some guy grabbed popcorn, was just throwing it everywhere. I'm like, that's mental de la mente. Like, you have to be that dumb to be able to be doing stuff like that.
It just happened recently in one of the events.
Which one?
I can't remember. I think it was in SoFi. Somebody didn't show up. And people were taking the beer because they were going to get their money back or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that. And it's just like, I veces pienso la gente que, ay, Dios mío. Ay, Diosito Santo, like my mom would say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand the frustration, but, like, the biggest thing is, like, you should know that you're going to this place and might happen. This chaos might happen.
Yeah, that's true. Like, Pico, like, I want to go to Pico, like, every single weekend for the summer, dance around. But I know that people are probably going to get in fights, probably going to be throwing stuff around. I highly doubt they do any checks, so somebody can bring in a weapon. So that is a risk you're right. That is a risk that you are pretty much walking into. But all for the fun, just want to go.
It's just an adrenaline rush as well. I mean, we seen these raves, the raves, how many people go. And you're like, what the heck? Why do somebody wants to go into this rave, for an example? I'm just saying that because I know a lot of the times they do a lot of mosh pits. And, they start, like, pushing people in, or, people are just jumping and, like, some people enjoy that and other people might not enjoy it. But if that person doesn't think about it, you know, a lot of the times, let's just stand to the back, not to the front, because I don't want to be dealing with that either. Mm-hmm.
And see, like, okay, maybe it's just one experience and it was such a big event. But when I went to the rave, yo pensé que iba a ser desmadre total. Mm-hmm. But no, al contrario, it was just, you know, people dancing, having a good time. Well, there was some people who were doing stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing, mm-hmm. but they were doing drugs. But I mean, other than that.
But you don't think like in the front was more chaotic?
Well, because everybody was pretty much mashed up, but we eventually, I don't know if I told you, but there was a guy that pretty much told Cyan, like, hey, follow me, like pretty much follow you into the crowd, because he was trying to get us to the very front, and he was helping us like push, like not push people out of the way, like kind of like wiggle our way into the front. And yes, it was a little bit more, si estaba un poquito más apretado, but you weren't like super apretado. But it was just a different experience because, you know, you were so close to the...
But you wanted that experience.
I wanted it. I did want to experience it. But then it got really hot. So I'm like, okay. But that's why I said it was like a one and done type of thing. Mm. So that's why I don't know if I would actually enjoy a festival. Like Coachella and Hard Summer, no sé qué tanto más. So I don't know if I will ever actually experience it because it's just, it is overwhelming. See, de por sí, even a concert can get pretty bad too.
Yeah.
I can't even think of the last time a concert got really bad.
One of the crazy things I understand, you know, it was chaotic in different ways. But one of the videos I saw when people started rushing, you know, they started like, they started handing children over the bar almost. So you know, the cops were grabbing them, and then in one of that, you see this lady like trying to like go over as well, and I think maybe because of the kids, but you see her having a backpack. And then she gives it to like maybe to her man or something or her husband. And at this moment, when he grabs the backpack, like 3 seconds later, the bar basically falls down. And, you know, it was almost
everybody
like
pretty much falls.
Mosh pit, or like they're starting to get run over. And at this time, she falls down and the guy like almost trips or tries to like block her for nobody to like step on her. But at this moment, he drops the backpack, you know, and I'm like, what the heck? And I didn't see it. So I was like, she got up and she started making a big old scene, like, hey, you know, like almost like if somebody stole something from the backpack. And I was like, I didn't see anything. And I was trying to like, you know, find clues. But no, when the guy drops the backpack, a little dog runs out.
Oh, and was it the lady that was like, like screaming? Oh,
she was screaming because her little dog. She's such an idiot.
So well, what if it was a service dog?
No, it wasn't a pretty nice bag.
She was probably trying to sneak in the dog.
I don't think about sneaking the dog, but I don't know if like, you know, if they allow pets in there as long as they're like in a little backpack or a briefcase type of situation. But yeah, when he dropped the bag, he fell and he started walking out. But they found him. But that was just like that. Like, why would you take a dog to a situation like that?
I don't know. It wasn't dogs at the ballpark. I mean, not the ball. Yeah, the ballpark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that. Sometimes we don't think about it. I'm like, what an innocent dog had to be there for?
I mean, the dog. Yes, the dog's my poor baby. Look, I mean, the babies, honey. Like there was little kids. Like I don't know if I would ever want to take my kids to like a big event like that. I would love to. Same thing, right? I would love to, just like those people that would love to attend a big event like that. But there's just so many dumb people out there. Idiots.
That's just the adrenaline. The adrenaline rush you're getting at that moment. And to know you're going to see. Because unfortunately, there was like 80% of one fan base. I don't want to say what side, you know, because I don't want it to be like... I don't want it to be like I'm just pointing fingers. But, you know... It's unfortunate that it had to get that rowdy. And that's why I made that example. It could have been like, oh, this is the first in a long time that their team has been there and they're so close. They're like, oh, I'm willing to spend this money to go see them. And they're like, oh, I'm going to get in because I'm going to get in.
Yeah. It's just so sad. Like, what was it? The Copa America? It's just so sad that the Copa America that, I'm not saying that everybody was Latinos, right? But the majority was Latinos, of course. And how, que tenemos que estar bien unidos, and we're just making ourselves look bad.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh my gosh, come on, haciendo desmadre medio. And I'm not saying everybody was like, again, there might have been other races as well. It's just
the passion of that game.
It's not passion.
No, you just don't understand. It's the passion of the game, and it's the whole world. Just Champions League, I think this year as well, Champions League that just happened, they had to delay it for the same reason. People started jumping the fence or trying to go in there in a forced way. I don't know why, but soccer just moves the world around.
Okay, so here's the thing. Ahorita, I don't know if it's even going to be relevant about it, but remember how in the Mexican games, they were like, putos. So they ended up fining the league, right? Or who were they fining?
The Mexican league, I think.
Yeah, I guess the Mexican league was getting fined. So that stopped.
No.
So it didn't stop completely. Mm-hmm. But before, it was like the whole stadium, they were like, lock arms, and they would do it. Pero ahora ya no se oye tanto.
Well, because they're threatening to stop the game as well.
Yeah, they threatened to stop the game, which they should have done.
But you're talking about a whole different comparison.
No, it's not still soccer. Still soccer.
No,
it can
I'm just
be football,
saying the way that it came to.
Mm-hmm.
Get me? Like, this is during the game and this is before the game.
But that's the thing. Like, okay, threaten to stop it and then completely stop it. It's like you paid for it. You're not going to get a refund. You were already attending the game. So you're just going to lose out of your money si le siguen con sus mensadas.
Yeah, but, how are you going to stop hundreds of people, though?
You can.
No, you cannot.
Well, you can't stop them, but they just shut it down and everybody go home.
That's not you wish that would happen, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
It can be done. But yeah, that was our last one. Nos Vamos topic. Lots of controversies, lots of stuff going on in the world. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and Apple Music as well.
And we shall catch you guys on the next one.
Así es, nos vemos.
Bye bye.